Hello, and thanks for joining me for this episode of NCIA Today. I'm your host, Bethany Moore, NCIA's Director of Communications, checking in with you regularly with updates on what's happening in the cannabis industry and here at NCIA. It feels like high tide as the spring season is almost in full bloom and our calendars are getting packed. We're halfway through our winter and spring event series as we visit more than a dozen cities across the country for our industry social evening networking events. These events are all about cultivating regional communities of industry professionals so that they can connect and learn from each other in a fun, relaxed cocktail hour setting. As always, NCIA members receive complimentary access, and advance tickets for non-members are available for $50. Over the next few weeks, we'll be heading to 6 more cities, including Miami on April 12th, Portland, Oregon on April 19th, New York City on the 27th, and then in May, we'll be visiting Chicago and Detroit, and finally, Oklahoma City in June. These events lead up to our 11th annual Cannabis Industry Lobby Days in May, which is just a few weeks away. We've already got our flights and lodging in Washington, D.C. all squared away, and we hope that you have yours all set as well. I'm excited to see everyone at both the welcome reception before we begin our journeys on Capitol Hill, as well as the closing reception to meet and greet a few of our champion members of Congress. I really love this video that my colleague Vince created to show some of the networking highlights from last year's lobby days held last September. So in case you missed it last month, let's check it out again. Check out the full calendar of events on our website and register your team to attend. Plus, there's still time to check out our sponsorship opportunities for all of these events, plus lobby days. Head to our website to register and fill out the form for sponsorship opportunities, or just send an email to sponsorship@thecannabisindustry.org for more details. Moving on, we've got some great content on our website's blog, with new articles from NCIA members and committees coming out every week, plus our 2 podcast shows. NCIA's Scientific Advisory Committee recently shared a blog with our readers highlighting 13 women cannabis scientists to follow and support. Author Russ Hudson of Canna Advisors states, "Sharing the work and efforts of these exceptional humans is precisely what's needed to inspire the next generation of cannabis scientists, where gender will no longer be a defining feature." Check out the list in the blog on our website. Also, in a recent blog by Mike Lamuto, NCIA's DEI manager, he showcases some of the Equity Scholarship recipients who went on to serve on one of NCIA's various committees, where he says NCIA committees are looking, sounding, and acting more and more like the diverse faces of Main Street cannabis. The blog highlights 7 of these members and their experiences working with their fellow committee members, so be sure to check that out to learn more. And back to what's happening on Capitol Hill in D.C., Michelle Rutter-Freeberg, NCIA's Deputy Director of Government Relations, reported on our lobbying team's recent efforts to create a unified voice for the cannabis industry in Congress. She explains how we convened a working group comprised of the trade organizations in the cannabis space that we work closely with on the Hill. And in the following weeks, on March 21st, we sent a unified industry letter on safe banking and hosted a briefing and reception for freshman members and staff on Capitol Hill. All of the feedback we received was overwhelmingly positive, with questions about when the next event would be. So, of course, Michelle reminded everyone about our upcoming Lobby Days event happening in May, right around the corner. Check out more of Michelle's blog on our website. Before we wrap up this episode, I want to point out our recent podcast episodes featuring interviews with the New York Office of Cannabis Management to hear more about how the state is implementing their cannabis laws and regulations, as well as keeping social equity at the forefront. I also spoke with our CEO, Aaron Smith, and NCIA board member Monica Gray about NCIA's tireless efforts to lobby Congress on behalf of Main Street cannabis businesses. We talked about our experiences in the past and how the responses we're getting from congressional offices have evolved over the years, as well as what we can expect at our upcoming 11th annual Lobby Days, which I can't seem to stop talking about because it is that exciting, and I can't wait to see you all in May. If you enjoy listening to podcasts, go ahead and subscribe to NCIA's Cannabis Industry Voice, as well as NCIA's Cannabis Minority Report, hosted by Mike Lamuto, on podcast streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. Please hit that subscribe button too while you're at it. Also, check out our Industry Essentials webinar schedule for more virtual learning opportunities. NCIA's educational webinars are brought to you with the insight and expertise of NCIA members, NCIA staff, as well as regulatory and legal experts. If you're an NCIA member, reach out to me to learn how you can contribute educational content for our website and newsletter, or pitching to be a guest on our podcast. Please send me an email to get the ball rolling, bethany@thecannabisindustry.org. As always, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram to stay inspired and connected. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.